we're talking to Carl of Padmore from the SSA. You had a very situation this morning where the SSA decided that it was going to suspend its operations, its collection of garbage across the island. Tell us a little bit about that situation, Carl.
Yeah, we would have deployed our fleet from around 0600 hours this morning. And what we encountered on the road was interesting and yet scary and very concerning. And I'm saying interesting because just last evening, Minister Wilfred Abrams would have appealed to Barbadians to take their time on the road because this dust, which should be nothing new to us because if there's construction going on in a particular area, you know there would be that Marley dust. So we would know how to be cautious. But that didn't happen this morning, journalists. What happened was that these guys were literally speeding, and that posed two major problems for us. The speeding caused like this big wall between the crew and the other vehicles. So sometimes when vehicles realize that there's a sanitation truck, you have to brake sudden. Then the dust was going all on our guys. We actually had PPE equipment, the white one, and within 1 hour, that PPE equipment was black because they were just speeding. So we had to suspend collections today, and we're hoping to have more cooperation from motorists tomorrow. Even this afternoon on my way home, these guys were still speeding. Now, look, let's be reasonable. If the highway speed limit is 80, unless you are ambulance, fire, defense force, or taking somebody to the hospital, you can drive safely at 40, sir. If your speed limit is 60, you can drive safely at 30. But there's no need, and so they're kicking up all of this dust. So those were two of the major problems. We had an average of about 40 trucks to deploy. And why we wanted to respond with a sense of urgency, you would remember that last week, Monday was a bank holiday. The Friday before that was Good Friday. And yesterday we did not have any collection because we were on the lockdown dealing with the ash. So those would have been some days that we would have missed some parts of Barbados, and we wanted to catch up. Today would have been a perfect day. A lot of persons were home. We had minimum traffic on the road, but we wanted to get into communities. As a result, we can tell you that we did not complete 90% of what we set out to do. And that concerns us. We're hoping to start again tomorrow and hope that we get more cooperation from members of the public this time. In terms of
Could I just ask a question? Could I just ask you though, Carl, what about, is there a possibility maybe of doing night collections? What are the challenges for the SSA if you had to maybe consider doing night collections just as a consideration? How difficult would it be? What you have to put in place? All the adjustments you have to make.
Well, we would have to discuss it naturally with the board, the union, and all of that to look at what are the possibilities. I know in the past there were, as you know, some collections that went late, early morning. We would have, but you know that for the last couple of years, overtime has been suspended. So that is one aspect that we may have to revisit. But we are following the financial restrictions in the country. So night collection may be a bit of a challenge in terms of compensation, but it's not anything beyond. If the fellows are willing, that is an aspect, because I understand where you're going, less traffic, but maybe if you do that, you would have to tell persons that during this time, be off the road by a certain time so that SSA can pick up the garbage. Maybe we can look at that and consider that. And that is something that I know, but like I said, would have to get the attention of management board, minister, and the government. But it's worth considering.
Right now, everybody's has been advised. The country's been advised to collect the garbage, to collect the ash, shovel it up, put it in garbage bags. Some people obviously may know that there's some benefits for plants and lawns and may very well use it as some kind of fertilizer, but some others may just leave it by the side of the road, hoping that the SSA collects it. How are you all going to deal with that, considering that obviously there is some level of concern that it may be, that sort of kind of ash may become too heavy and you may not be able to compact it in the trucks? How are you all going to deal with that whole situation?
At this stage, we are focusing on household waste which is generated in the house. In terms of the ash, the minister would have said that to place it in the crocus bag and place it at the side. There is going to be special arrangements for that. In fact, that both Minister Duguid, Minister Abrams, Minister Ford, they're in heavy discussion as to the best way of getting that collected. The focus right now is on the household waste, because you know household waste, if you leave it there long, you're going to break down to get leachate. You can get the mice, you can get the chickens, you get the dogs. We want to focus on that to get that up off the ground first. But in a couple of days, they're going to a plan is going to be rolled out as to how to remove the ash from next to your house.
How has general garbage collection been going for the SSA? We got your new trucks last year, brand new trucks. They seem to be doing a very good job, but then obviously the complication with COVID. How have you all been able to manage through that and now into another, if you want to call it another crisis?
Yes. Well, we're happy that the government responded to the needs of the SSA, and we were able, on average, we average sometimes between 35 to even 42 trucks on the road. Now, you would be aware there were times we had 12, we had 15. But to have well over 30 trucks on the road, it means that we can service every single parish at least once a week. And there's some parishes that say like clockwork, they know when their truck is coming, they know the driver, they know the crew. Before, we couldn't do that because we had a serious setback in terms of equipment. During the COVID period, we were able to outfit our guys with the necessary PPE, personal protective equipment, and deploy them. So we did not take a break during that. What we were mindful of was it was COVID, so we wanted to protect our crews as well. So we had the necessary sanitizers and additional masks on the vehicles, because these guys have to go back home and interface with their own families. Now with this second crisis, as we're calling it, and it is that, we then had to double the efforts now with double masks, and most of them then had to give them a type of disposable overall to wear. So new dynamics are coming here. We have a population which is quite aged. Some of these guys have been working at SSA for well over 30 years, some 20-something years, and some are asthmatics, and we want to make sure that they're good, because at the end of the day, preservation of life is first. So we are taking every precaution to do that. Let me go back and say to you, Odi, that well over half of our staff, they were given the jab to help with the COVID. And again, we want to commend manager Janice Jones, the operations manager Michael Nichols, and the minister, the Honorable Adrian Ford, for that initiative where we had, and we encouraged them to do that. So we are ready for this crisis, but we want the cooperation from the public.
One of the things that, well, I was listening to the talk show today, and one of the issues, and I know you were on as well, one of the issues that came up was obviously the whole issue of separation of garbage at source at the households. That has been a moot thing for a very long time. From the SSA's perspective, why has there been a holdup maybe in going in that route? In so doing, we go to Canada, we go to United States. We know we have to do it over there. Those of us who travel, but why is it that we can't seem to get it implemented here in Barbados?
Minister, the Honorable Adrian Ford, Minister of the Environment and National Beautification, is actually going that road. Shortly, he's going to be taking two Parliament new legislation that will speak about that. Not only recycling, but it will speak to how you carry your own lot, sir. Where if you allow your lot to be overgrown, the government has all rights, if they clean it, to charge you, because your overgrown lot can be a haven for mice, which can go to your neighbor. If you are caught dumping, the government now will increase the penalty, because there's already a penalty in the Health Services Act that speaks to anyone causing nuisance can be charged up to $5,000. Then they're going to roll out a big plan to speak specifically to separation at source. We believe that this is the way to go. It's less waste in the landfill. It takes well over $15 million to outfit a landfill, because a landfill is not just a big piece of coal. As you know, there are pipes down there. You have layers and layers of clay and different things. So instead of putting more money to create this landfill, why not push more in terms of recycling? And we know that that's the way where this government would want to go, separation at source, metals in one, plastics in one, papers. And there are a number of recyclers out there who are willing but it has to start with the mindset of Barbadians. A couple of years ago, we changed our motto, which says clean thoughts, clean living, clean nation. We want people to start thinking about the benefits of separation to the environment. So that's in the thought. A clean living, make it a livelihood. So when you get up in the mornings and you have that sardine, that tuna, wash it and you put it separate. Don't let it go into the bin. Start with small things. Get the children involved. That old tire could go into a garden. You know, the old mop bucket, 4 holes, that also can grow up a plant. Even food, I've seen it. So we want to encourage that. And there is a department in the Ministry of the Environment that will be going into more schools. Also, we have created 2 hotlines at the SSA where persons can call and we can give you tips and we can give you information as well. We are encouraging that as well. Those numbers 262-5326, 262-5327, the hotline numbers. And they're there for general information as well. We have an engineering department where persons have been trained to deal with that, separation at source specifically. So to answer you, this is the way the government is going. We believe that this is the way because it's less waste going into the landfill. And that landfill probably has a couple more years. But what do we do thereafter? Let's separate. And the garden waste, we are seeing an increase in garden waste heading out to the household waste. We don't want that commingling. You can build a compost that can go back into the earth. That's why we're encouraging persons with the ash. If you can dig a hole, go put it, plant it, plow it back into the ground. It has nutrients in it. You know, even I've seen some farmers down Pilgrim Road take some of the seaweed and they have it on the gardens and they're saying that they have success from it. So this is the way to go. And you're right. The same way we can go overseas and obey all the laws, why can't we as a country do it as well?
And just finally, I know, I heard the Prime Minister suggest that you're also going to be going in the direction of having those trucks where the guys wouldn't be on have to be at the mercy now of the ash in this situation. You wish you had them now, didn't you? But
yes,
those are one of the things that
yes.
that you'll be looking forward to in the future.
Yes, the compactor trucks with the hydraulics where you just hook up and you feed it right in. That's the way to go as well. And we know her passion for that. We know the passion of the minister as well. But that's the way. If we had it now, what it is, because it would just be the driver and he would be in his aircon there pulling. And then the guys can easily just get out and just hook up and get back in. So that is the way to go. But look, we came out of COVID and then this. So it set us back again. But we are creeping and we're getting there. We have all confidence that as a country we will get out of this. Our message to Barbadians is help us at SSA to help you. There's some persons who are parking their vehicles onto the road and our trucks can't get through. That concerns us. I don't know about you, sir, but there's some people who have some big SUVs and then we can't turn.
I don't have a big SUV.
Oh, you don't?
I have a small compact.
A small, okay, good. Because I have one too, so my vehicle is not blocking any road. They said that if you have to ride the sidewalk, we can damage your garden, damage your sidewalk. We prefer not to do that. So we are appealing to members of the public to have the vehicles off the road as well so that we can come through and be of good service.
But Carla of Padmore, I want to thank you for your good continued work there at the SSA. And thank you for joining us here on the Nation News Online.
Thank you. Have a blessed week, sir.
You too.